with Jez. We see that in the end things turned wrong. He even turned into a murderer. He strangles Jogo. Who is dating his girlfriend Jez, as well as Minnie, his wife. So his act of cheating turned him into a murderer. The second person is Minnie. When Minnie decides to also get a hard soother outside her marriage, she also in the end she also ends up breaking her home. She even ends up pregnant for a man outside her marriage, which is wrong. So she loses her marriage and ends up pregnant for a man outside her marriage. So every act has a consequence. That was the first lesson. Lesson number 2, we should be careful about the friends we make. That is the second lesson. We should be careful about the friends we make. Or we should first analyze the kind of friends we have, because not all friends are there for us and wish us good. So in this play, The Hard Soothers, we see Florence. Florence pretends to be a friend to Minnie, and at the same time pretends to be a friend to Jez. She knows very well that the two friends are dating the same man, but she doesn't inform any of them. And she goes ahead to advise, to give bad advice or ill advice to both of them. So Florence is a problem here. Is an example of this lesson. So we should be careful about the friends we make. The next lesson, revenge is useless. Revenge is useless. If you revenge, in most cases, you just in the end you hurt yourself, because in most cases people do revenge when they're out of their minds. They usually revenge when they're out of their minds, and usually the decisions they make during that time when they're out of their mind, it is usually wrong. It is usually a wrong decision. For example, Minnie decides to also cheat on her husband Jimmy as a solution to her husband's cheating. So cheating cannot solve cheating. So this kind of revenge of getting another man in order to bring peace in her marriage was very wrong. So revenge is useless. In the end, these people here who were revenging, Minnie, who was revenging on the husband for cheating, in the end she also ends up hurt, because in the end she loses everything. So revenge is useless. Next is not all friends wish us good. The next lesson, not all friends wish us good. An example there is Florence. Those who have read the play, you've seen the kind of advice that she... how can you tell your friend to again cheat as a solution to cheating? Another lesson here is think twice before you act. Think twice before you act. Most of the people in this book made wrong decisions. They were not thinking before they were acting. They were using their anger to think for them. And of course, they ended up thinking wrongly and making wrong decisions. So think before you act is a lesson in the play The Hard Soothers. Another lesson is emotional wounds need honest communication and reflection. Emotional wounds need honest communication and reflection. So here they're trying to tell us that if you're hurt, or if you're being hurt by someone psychologically or emotionally, you need to sit down with that person who is bringing you that harm, and you communicate and you talk about it. You know what, you're doing this, but it is really affecting me. I think you should change, and you sit and communicate and talk things through. So that is another lesson. Another lesson in the play The Heart Soothers is a thief has 40 days. A thief has 40 days. So Minnie, whenever Jimmy used to go away from home, maybe for a business trip or is going to the village, Minnie used to bring in her lover Jogo, and thinking that the husband is not coming back anytime soon. But we get to see that the husband comes back when she is not expecting him, and the husband Jimmy catches her red-handed with Jogo, her lover, in his house. So a thief has 40 days. The next lesson is traditional values can coexist with modernity. Traditional values can coexist with modernity. So that is a lesson in this book. In this book we get to learn that much as we are being modernized and westernized, much as we are being westernized, we need to uphold our positive traditional values, like the respect. We need to give respect to our partners and the people that we stay with. So in marriage we also need to respect our values in tradition. Most of the problems in Jimmy and Minnie's marriage came because Jimmy refused to go and visit Minnie's parents. Everything started with that. Jimmy refusing to go and see Minnie's parents, so that they can know that, our daughter is married and is married to so and so. So that is another lesson. Traditional values can coexist with modernity. Another lesson is whatever you do in the dark shall always be revealed in the light. So another lesson is whatever you do in the dark will always be revealed in the light. Here, an example here is Jimmy. Jimmy deceives Minnie that he was on a business trip, something, and had gone somewhere, and yet he was out clubbing with his friend Patrick. So the wife hears their conversation and gets to know the fact that so this man had not actually gone to the place that he had deceived her, but had gone to a different place. So another example of that proverb of whatever you do in the dark shall always be revealed in the light is Minnie, who is caught cheating. She knew that the husband Jimmy will never find her cheating, but she is caught red-handed with Jogo, her lover, in Jimmy's house, her husband's house. Then another proverb here is a friend in need is a friend indeed. A friend in need. Another lesson that we learn from this play, The Heart Soothers. A friend in need is a friend indeed. So in this play, here, an example of this proverb or this saying is Patrick. When Jimmy gets an accident, he is there. He is there for him, takes him to the hospital, and even brings him back home safely. So a friend in need is a friend indeed. Another example is we should mind another lesson. We should mind the advice we take from our friends. We should mind the advice we take from our friends. So before you act, before you act from the advice that your friend has given you, first think. First think about the consequences of that advice that your friend has given you. Because if Minnie had stuck to have original values, have original Christian values, because at the beginning she tries to resist and say, no, it is not right for me to cheat, or even use a traditional healer or a native doctor to solve my marital issues. And she had hope that one day the husband would change. If she had stuck to her original virtues, if she had stuck to her original virtues of patience, humility, respect, and everything, I believe with time things would have been better in her marriage. But she decided to take the wrong advice from her friend, and in the end, it caused her problems. So that is another lesson. So another lesson is partners should be faithful to each other. Another lesson is partners should be faithful to each other, or cheating is wrong, or cheating in a relationship is wrong. So that is another lesson that we learn. Cheating, or partners should stay faithful to one another in their marriages. That is also a lesson. Or cheating is wrong. Cheating in love relationships is wrong. Or generally cheating is wrong. Cheating is wrong in everything. In all aspects, cheating is wrong. It is a negative act. So the lesson is partners should stay faithful to each other. So that is a lesson. So this couple here, Minnie and Jimmy, if they had stayed faithful to each other, they wouldn't have turned out to, everything wouldn't have become a mess. Everything wouldn't have become a mess. Their home ended up being broken and turning them into criminals as a result of their cheating. Their cheating brought issues to them. So let me end there for today. I will be explaining more lessons. So if you're not yet subscribed, follow and comment. And many more videos are coming your way of the explanations of the books on the literature syllabus.